What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? This is your girl, Gail Crowder. And guess what? It is Tuesday. And you know what I mean by Tuesday? It is Wife Chat Tuesday. And I am so excited. What's up, Lisa? Thank you so much for joining me. Please go and share this. I am so excited to be on here today. I just am like so excited. I have so much information to share with you guys. And so I'm excited. What's up, Lisa? What's up, Lisa? Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you. I just wanted to come on here and say thank you guys so much for all the love. Hi, how are you, Christy? Thank you so much for joining me here on Wife Chat Tuesday. Please go share it with your friends and say we're about to talk about the dedicated wife. So please go share it. Thank you guys so much for getting on here. I'm super excited you guys are joining me. Please go share. The Wife Chat Tuesday is going down. I have some great news, and I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all your love and support. You know, while I was on travel, teaching and speaking and doing what I love, you guys showed me so much love. This is my second year. Really, hello, thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Thank you. You know, this is my second year getting the opportunity to present at the Bedroom Kandi convention. And it was such an honor to be able to pour in. Over 400 women came, and you know, God truly showed up and showed out. And last year I was on an assignment to allow them to know that it's okay to be a Christian woman and to sell Bedroom Kandi. And this year it was much more of that. It was just allowing them to see that the world has perverted that industry so bad, and that they have the ability to take it back. Because what most people don't know, that a lot of, like, I would say 80% of the Bedroom Kandi representatives, and it's like 20, almost 3,000 of them, literally are women of faith. And so it was just really a joy to be able to pour into them. It was a joy to be able to walk in my gifts one more time. And I thank you guys so much for supporting me in that. And I know that lives have been transformed because I said yes, and that God allowed me to walk in my gifts. And so tonight, please, you guys go share that that we're on here, and we're going to talk about the dedicated wife. Because when you look at the word dedication, it means that you are in a position that you're steadfast, unmovable, that you are focused, that you are in it to win it, right? And this is my version of it. Of course, the Webster's has something a little bit more formal. But as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, we have really got in a position where we are looking at dedication as something that's very hard, something that you really have to lose yourself to be dedicated to your marriage. And so I want to really talk to you about how to balance your dedication and your commitment and your covenant that you made, but also really not lose who you are. And I have an amazing coaching program called Loving Him Without Losing You that I'm really enjoying working with the ladies with. But I just want to come on here and speak a little bit about the dedicated wife. For one, the dedicated wife is a woman of prayer. She has a prayer life, because I believe, and I've not always had a prayer life. I've always believed that there was a God, but I also can admit that I haven't been one that was able to pray for my husband, especially when things were going horrible in my marriage. That was one of the things that was very difficult for me to do. And so I will tell you that when I began to pray for my husband and I began to intercede that he would make better decisions financially, better decisions concerning me, better decisions concerning our children, and that we would get on one accord, I will tell you that I seen a shift. Was it quick? Absolutely not. Was it consistent? Absolutely not. But I will tell you, the more I began to pray for Gail and call those things into existence and started to sow for what I wanted. And remember, I always tell you, I am a person that truly believes in sowing for what I want when it comes to what I want out of my marriage, right? And so, am I perfect? Absolutely not. But she's a woman of faith. She's a woman of prayer. And so even when things are going difficult in your marriage, even when you think that I can't take it no more, I'm about to walk away, I'm about to throw in the towel, you know, he hate me and I hate him, begin to pray. Literally begin to cry out to God on your behalf, that you don't lose it, that you don't kill him, that you know that he lives to be another day. And I'm just going to put it on you just to pray for yourself. And as you begin to pray for yourself, begin to add him into it. And I'm going to say this: don't say God fix him. Ask God to fix you. Even if he's a culprit, begin to ask God to fix you. How to relate, how to speak, how to act, when to be quiet. And I know it's hard because a lot of times you're in a situation where it's not you. You have done everything that you know to do, including prayer, but you got to go in harder. So that's the first thing a dedicated wife is. She learns to pray for herself and she learns to pray for her husband. The second thing, she makes her husband a better man. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you're not his mother, but you know your worth, you know what you bring to the table, and you allow him to see that his life is a lot better with you in it. And a lot of times we lose our self-worth because we have allowed things, material things, people, our parents, children, other things to influence what our worth is. We even have allowed sometimes our husbands to dictate what we think our self-worth is. But I will tell you, your husband is better off with you in his life. You just got to allow him, and you have to live before him for him to really see the value that you bring into the relationship. And sometimes that is hard, especially when you're struggling with your own internal struggles. You know, it could be self-esteem, it could be education, it could be so many different things that you're struggling with on your own. And it's hard to allow that person to see your value. But I know in myself, I didn't think that I brought a lot to the table besides my big mouth, right? But when I really started getting in the Word of God and started building myself up and realized that I was a woman of God, that I was created for Gilbert, and that his life is enhanced because I said yes, just like he did. And I began to learn my self-worth. I began to honor myself. I began to understand what I brought to the table, that I was able to cover my husband where he was weak and vice versa. Then I was able to articulate that. I was able to not be whining and be, a big mouth, but I was able to say, you know what, I can handle this because I'm better at this. You handle this because you're better at this. And then it became a give and take thing. So she understands that she makes her husband better. And so sometimes you have to sit back and realize what you bring to the table. And if you don't feel that you're bringing anything to the table, I admonish you to sit down and think about what you would like to bring to the table and start working on those things. Because you can't lose your self-worth, and your husband is not the person that gives you your self-worth in the first place. God does. For making sense. The second thing is she's trustworthy. She's a woman that is trustworthy. And in my coaching practice, I get a lot of women that say, you know, my husband is closed off. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't trust me. He'll talk to his friends before he will talk to me. The question becomes is, that's just the surface problem. What is the root cause? Why doesn't your husband trust you with his heart? Why doesn't your husband feel that he can come to you instead of running to one of his boys or talking to another woman or whatever that is going on? Why is his heart closed to you? I will tell you it's because for me, it was my big mouth. And every time I got angry, I would throw up Gail's shortcomings back into his face, right? That's what I used to do. I don't know what you do, but you really have to get to the root cause why your husband doesn't feel that he can trust you with his heart. And that's very, very important for communication. That's very, very important for you guys to stay on one accord. That's very, very important that you have an open book where you guys can go back and forth and really feel that you can trust him. You know, he can trust you with his heart and vice versa. And I know there is some instance where he has hurt you. He has said things that you don't even trust him with your heart. But I will tell you this, if a man feels that he can trust you with his heart and that he doesn't always have to be on or be the man in a sense where he can just come and lay in your lap and know that he's going to be okay, that's the type of relationship you should be striving for. You really should be. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy all the time, but I'm just telling you, when you get in a position where your husband can trust you with his heart, you're open for an amazing, amazing line of communication, amazing, amazing line of intimacy, and amazing, amazing longevity in your marriage. It is really true. Number 4, she is ambitious. And I don't care if you're a stay-at-home princess, warrior, goddess, because staying at home is one of the hardest jobs you could ever do. But you have to be ambitious about what your dreams, your goals, your wants, and your desires are. Because every man loves a woman that has ambitions. Every man loves a woman that is a go-getter. Every man is attracted to a woman that can take care of herself. And I know that sounds crazy because they like to be a hero. They like to be, you know, the head of the household. But I will tell you that they love a woman that they know that God has their back and is not always looking for them to do something for them, right? And I know that he's the head of the household. He should be able to provide for you and all of those different things. But I will tell you, when I sit down and tell Gail my dreams, my goals, and my aspirations, you know, he is like excited for me. He's excited that I have my goals and my dreams and ambitions outside of my marriage, as well as we have them together. And he has his, because that makes me a whole person. That makes me happy. That gives me something to wake up for, instead of saying, oh, you know, I'm just Gail's wife and Justin and Joshua's mom and Angelique and Angelina's on, and I don't know what I want to do every day. No, I wake up every day with purpose, and that makes me a better person. That makes me be able to relate, because I only get one life. I only get one. And I know what it is to put all my dreams, aspirations, and stuff on the back burner when I was raising my children, and they deserve that. But I also understand what it is to go after my dreams and to live my dreams and my purpose, because my children are getting older. They leave, one has left the house, the other one's on his way out next year. And I need to be able to look in the mirror and say, what have I accomplished for my life? And I know that God has given me a gift, and I understand that I have purpose. And so if you're struggling with that, if you're feeling guilty because you have small children, start writing it down. Start writing out what you would like to accomplish when they get a little bit older and they don't need you as much. Start writing down your dreams and aspirations. Start researching it. Start understanding that you will have a life outside of raising children and being connected to your husband in a sense when it comes to you being an individual. Number 5, she loves herself unconditionally. Loving yourself and being confident in your own skin, that's priceless. You can't get that from your husband. You can't get that from a magazine. You can't get that from your girlfriends. You can't get that from anybody but yourself. And you got to be confident in your own skin. Can we change the packaging? Absolutely. We can lose weight. We can gain weight. We can do whatever we want to do. But until you have that internal confidence and love from the inside out, you will always continue to struggle. So I always tell people looking good, feeling good, and showing up on a consistent basis is an internal thing. Has nothing to do with external. What you have going on internally will eventually show up externally. And I hope I'm making sense to you guys, because again, you have to be confident. And when you are devoted, when you're a devoted wife, all of these things, you know, play a part in you not losing yourself with inside this big old bubble that we live in, right? And I like, again, I get it. Sometimes you're overwhelmed or just tired or whatever. Literally, I got on a plane this morning and I got home around 11 o'clock and I'm literally tired because I was supposed to have been home on Sunday. It's Tuesday. And so, you know, I had to be confident that I can, you know, show up for you guys, show up for my family, show up, you know, for my children. All of those things did not stop. So again, I had to be confident in myself. Number 6, she is responsible for her own well-being mentally. And again, I get it. We're so overwhelmed that sometimes you feel like you're going to snap. But I will tell you, when you feel like you're about to snap mentally, it's time to take a break from everything that you're doing. And you need to be able to communicate that. Because if you look at some of the things that have happened with people taking their lives over some of the things that we consider small, right? It pains me to see that people are taking their lives over something that can really be resolved with counseling, talking to someone or whatever. So when you get to the point where you feel that you are losing it, I admonish you to go talk to somebody, because that's being a responsible adult. That's being a responsible person. And I understand that sometimes you get to the point where you don't even realize you're about to snap. But that's where the communication with your spouse is important, because he will start to see, or you will start to see with him that you know, something's just not right. Something is just not right. And we need to really start being responsible for one another, because again, somebody taking their life over something that you could have talked out, or medication could have, you know, corrected. Prayer could have corrected. It really, really pains me. And I know a young lady that that was used to actually work for me years ago, that tried to take herself out over the weekend. And it just really pains me, because she just felt like it was just everything was just overwhelming, because she wasn't getting everything done. And so I just want to say, if you're to that point where you think you have nobody to talk to, there's resources out there. If you reach out to me, I will put you in the hands of somebody who's qualified to walk you through that process. That's above my education, and I'm not going to take that on. But if you need somebody to pray with you, I'm definitely in on that. And so just know that. And the last point that I want to talk to you about is she loves unconditionally. And a lot of times when you're a dedicated wife, I can only speak from my experience, and y'all know I'm 100%. I used to love Gail with conditions. If you do this, I love you. If you pay this, I love you even more. If you buy me this, you own a 10. And I had to learn that's not the way love works. It's not I love you today and I don't tomorrow, unless you're doing what I say do or what I ask you to do. She loves unconditionally. When he's up, you love him. When he's down, you love him. When he's unemployed, you love him. When he's not saying nice things, you still love him, because you cut a covenant. I don't condone being abused. So let me make that very, very clear. I don't condone being abused in any relationship. So if you're being abused, I have resources to help you get out as well. But as far as loving unconditionally, you shouldn't put any stipulations on that, because God loves us unconditionally. He loves you when you're up. He loves you when you're down. And so we need to really stop using that as an excuse or as a weapon as well. Because again, when you cut a covenant with God before your husband and vice versa, right? His love is unconditional. And again, all the points that I'm talking to you about, I used to play with them. And I can only draw from my education and my own personal life. I used to use like, well, I don't love you that much, no way. Or, you know, or I used to use that as a shield in order not to open my heart to get hurt. Because, you know, words hurt. And so I used to use that as a padding against what, you know, could be happening. So I would get him before he got me. And so, again, love is unconditional when you're in a marriage. And I know some women are dealing with men that have addictions and all those kind of things. And I'm not saying be a doormat, but sometimes you have to put some things in place. If you're dealing with somebody with addictions, or you're dealing with somebody who's verbally abusive to you, or if you're dealing with somebody who is physically abusive to you, right? You can still love them, but you still have to protect yourself in your heart. And you have to be confident enough to say, you know what? I love you, but I'm worth more. And that's where the self-worth and all those things come to play. And so again, when you're a dedicated wife, you're going to have a whole bunch of things that comes to you. You're going to have so many things that are going to test your dedication within your marriage. But I will say that if you put God first and you cry out to him, he will answer. So I don't know where you are in your marriage. I don't know what's going on, but I do feel in my spirit that some of you ladies are hanging on by a thread, and I get a chance to talk to women from all over the world every single week. God has truly blessed me. But I want you to know that you can win at this thing called marriage. You don't have to give up your whole entire being and just to say that you're somebody's wife. And the call on my life is to help you see that you can have some type of balance. Life is not ever going to be like this. It's always going to be this, right? But you can learn to ride the waves, right? And learn to enjoy your marriage inside of your marriage, even when you think it's not working. Because again, I've been in a situation where, you know, it was just two people passing in the night, and I'm still here 30 years later. And I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know that Gail is better for having me as his wife. I know I am better for having him as my husband. I understand my worth. I understand all of those things. Has it been a process? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I fail at it sometimes? Absolutely. Does my mouth take over sometimes? Absolutely. Because I'm human, right? But I will tell you, when I have learned to really pray for Gail and to intercede and to ask and to call those things and to sow for what I want, I can tell you everything shifted, and I am dedicated to winning in my marriage. I am. Even when it was times where he couldn't stand me, I couldn't stand him. We was living in under one roof, but we was definitely roommates. But God shifted those things because I made a decision that I didn't want to be a repeat of everything that happened in the people that came before me, as far as women in their marriages that I grew up with. And so tonight, I just thank you guys for hopping on. I thank you guys for continuing to support Wife Chat. I thank you guys that you continue to reach out and you continue to give me topics every single week. And so I thank you guys for that. And if you have any questions or comments, I'm always on here, making sure that I answer your questions. And I just pray for each and every last one of your marriages, that God is strengthening them and that he is showing up, and that I just know that every single morning at 4 a.m. I am up praying and interceding on you guys' behalf, because in marriage, you really, really can win. You really can. It's not easy. It's not easy. You got to go to work every single day at your marriage. You do. And some days you want to quit, just like you want to quit your job, you want to quit. But if you hang in there, you will win. I don't see any comments. If you guys have any topics you would want me to cover here on Wife Chat, you know that I am an open book and I definitely will do it. Hopefully you guys have seen the advertisement for my Wife Summit. It's going to be off the chain. When I say off the chain, it's March the 23rd in the heart of DC. God did it. Yeah, I know some of you guys know that I was praying for a location. He did it. He did it. He did it. And so I'm super excited about it. Go to thewifesummit.com and I'll put it in here and check it out. And don't wait to the last minute to register, because it's going to sell out. Believe that. It's going to sell out. And God showed me that it's going to be wives from all over the world that's going to converge on Washington, D.C. And we're going to literally shake the foundation of Washington, D.C. with wives from all over the world. No, we're going to stand that marriage is still alive as well, and that God ordained it, and we are here and we're in it to win it. All right. So I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much for joining me on Tuesday. And if you guys need me, you know where to find me on all my social media platforms, Gail Crowder, on all my social media. I also offer a free 30-minute consultation on my website. Just go to gailcrowder.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, click that, and we can chat. I love you guys to pieces. I'll see you next Tuesday. Good night.